Hi guys, so we're feeling absolutely sick to our stomachs about what happened last night, so we are here to share with you what happened.
I got invited to Highlight Room last night for my friend's birthday. It was a group of like 15 girls. I was definitely the biggest in the group, waiting in line to meet up with the promoter. I ran into Ella. It was like amazing. We're gonna have so much fun up there. So the promoter starts letting in the whole group of girls, and right when it gets to me at the front, the bouncer puts the rope in front, looks me up and down and says, "Yeah, not tonight." I wanted to make sure he wasn't confused and he knew that I was a part of the group that he was letting in. So I let him know, and he looked me up and down one more time and said, "Yeah, not tonight." And at that point, it was extremely apparent what was going on and that I was being discriminated against because of the size of my body.
So then I'm confused. I'm like, what's going on? Let me talk to him. So we switch spots. I go to the front. I'm like, "Hi, sir, it's just us four. Like, what's going on?" Like, super calm. And he's like, looked at me up and down, was like, "Not tonight." And I was like, "What do you mean not tonight? I'm so confused. Like, I was just here for dinner before." Like, "Wait, what are you talking about?" Wouldn't give us an answer. We didn't know why. And to be honest with you, we're tired of playing safe and we're tired of just letting this happen and not speaking up about it. This has personally happened to me 3 other times. I know this has happened to her before and a lot of our girlfriends as well. And it is not okay. And we're not doing this because we're complaining we can't get into Highlight Room. We don't care. It's for that girl or that person that's bigger who does not have a voice and doesn't have a following and doesn't have the connects. We understand we're privileged, but that's not to say that this is okay.
It was so dehumanizing. It was like we were literally getting looked through. People were watching and seeing what was going on, and no one was helping. These people were looking at us like we were scum of the earth.
Literally scum.
Nobody cared. And again, we have so much privilege, and we need to come on here and make it known that this shit is not okay anymore at all.
Just because you might be a little bit thicker, you can't enjoy a night out with friends, and like, give me a break.
It's so up.
The security guard was there, did not help, and he was a bigger guy, and I looked at him and I said, "Hey, you're seeing what's going on. You're a bigger guy. You know exactly what's going on here. Are you not going to speak up for us on our behalf? Are you not going to vouch for us? You know what's going on." And he was like, "Oh, well, it's not really my place." No, it is. That's your coworker.
Social standard. Who cares? Stand up for what's right.
Like, speak up when you see that something is wrong. We are clearly getting discriminated against. It's very evident. They're letting girls in front, behind, back, side, guys come in, everyone that is way thinner than us. And they literally looked at us up and down and said, "Not tonight. I'm tired of staying quiet. This needs to be talked about."
If you've experienced any type of discrimination like this, you know exactly how horrible and disgusting it feels. And we are no longer letting this fly anymore. We're holding these people accountable.
Now, this is going to be a controversial take. I know I'm going to trigger a lot of women. Feminists are going to go, "Rrr." I'm going to get a lot of flack for this, but I'm going to be brutally honest. Because for a lot of women, this is lacking, and it's clearly necessary. Now, first of all, they said terms like a little bit thicker, curved. Sweetie, honey boo-boo, you are fat. You are obese. You two are well over the normal BMI for your size. See, and this is part of the problem. This is what leads to these two obese women and other women's delusion. We live in a world where women are seen as sugar, spice, and everything nice. Where women can do no wrong. Where they're forgiven, excused, and protected for their poor choices in life. Women nowadays are saved and coddled from their poor choices in life. If a woman chooses to be promiscuous and sleep around, there's birth control to bail her out. And if that fails, there's an abortion to bail her out. And if all else fails, the courts will bail her out and place that man on child support. If a woman chooses to marry the wrong man, there's alimony to bail her out and she gets half his stuff. If a woman is rude, obnoxious, rambunctious, combative, quarrelsome, disrespectful, she's seen as strong, powerful. These men just can't handle you. That's how they excuse her poor behavior. And if a woman is fat or obese, it's excused by being called thick, voluptuous, big-boned, heavyset. All these modern day conveniences in order to forgive a woman for her poor choices in life. But when a man's fat, we don't use terms like voluptuous. He's just a fat dude. Look at 50 Cent the halftime show. Everyone and their mama fat shamed him. It was fun. It was funny. The world laughed at it. But now, on the flip side, had that been Lizzo, would it have been as funny? Doubt it. But it's okay to shame men when they're less than adequate, when they're inadequate to some degree. But the moment you shame a woman who's inadequate, it's a problem. It's shunned. It's misogynist. It's you're disrespectful. You're rude. You're insecure. Who hurt you? Small energy. All that nonsense. These two women are fat. You can call it fat shaming, whatever you want to call it. They are literally fat. Do we call it shaming when women call men broke? We don't say you're money shaming us. It's okay to money shame men, but the moment you fat shame a woman, it's a problem. Women discriminate against men all the time for things outside of their control. Their penis size, their height. But the moment you fat shame a woman, you're the devil. I add, you are in complete control as a human of every single morsel of food that goes into your mouth. If you choose to overeat on calories, fats, carbs, etc., that's on you. Now there's female privilege and pretty girl privilege. Female privilege, all women have access to. Pretty girl privilege, only a select few women have access to. Typically, it's the women who are youthful, beautiful, and fit. And these two fat chicks ain't that. Just like you women have a standard when you date a man, well, guess what? These clubs have standards when they allow guests into their establishment. And unfortunately, these two fat chicks just did not meet that standard. Because here's the thing, and I always say this, social constructs don't adhere to reality. Just because it's socially acceptable to be fat, right? Because the world lies to women and you lie, women buy, doesn't mean it's actually acceptable universally in reality. There's studies that show this. All men universally prefer fit, attractive women. Some guys prefer curvy women, of course, but even the curvy women have to have a flat stomach. This is just a universal standard for beauty. If you don't believe me, look at society today. Look at any music video. Look at any VIP sections within a club. What do you see? Fit, attractive women. You may see curvy, of course, but they have slim stomachs. You don't see women who are fat and big boned in those areas. You see a bunch of fit, attractive women congregated in one area. That's although society tells you it's okay to be fat, men don't accept it. And despite how you feel, what feminism tells you, society tells you, what your friends tell you, your family tells you, men dictate females' value. And men are the ultimate consumers of female beauty. So even though society tries to promote that being fat is beautiful, if men do not co-sign this, it's not a fact. If men don't universally feel like this, it's not a fact. And unfortunately for fat whales, clubs have an objective to bring in money to their establishments. Because who spends money? The men. And why are they spending money? For women. Pretty, attractive, fit, maybe curvy, but flat-waisted women. Men are not spending thousands of dollars in clubs to go to a club and see a bunch of fat chicks dancing around. Sorry, it's nothing personal. It's literally just business. Clubs have limited capacity. Why fill it up with a bunch of fat chicks who are not going to bring any money in? Now, are there some guys that like fat chicks? For sure. But typically it's guys who are of lower socioeconomic status. Even those guys who like fat chicks, if given the option, maybe a Bugatti, $5 million and a blue check on Instagram, they probably wouldn't be dating fat chicks, I'm assuring you. Men settle. Men do a lot of things out of necessity. So men will settle and deal with fat chicks. They do not prefer fat chicks. Universal. Again, there's studies that show that. So this is not my opinion. This is empirical fact. Plus, look at society. It shows you in itself. Look at any fat chick. Look at her dating practices. That alone shows you. Look at the world. Slim chicks, attractive chicks, curvy girls that have flat stomachs get access to certain privileges and experiences that fat chicks never get access to. So you know I ain't lying. I'm not sure if they're trying to get in the club for free, but if they were, they're going to have a hard time getting in the club for free being a fat chick. Because in certain big cities like Miami, New York, Atlanta, LA, they have certain requirements in order to get through the threshold for free for women. So unless these two fat chicks plan on losing weight, ain't nobody letting them in the club anytime soon for free. And listen, I don't feel sorry for fat chicks because in reality, as a woman, you're born with value. And if I'm going to be real, a woman's value comes from her looks, her body, and her coochie, which is why women are able to leverage it in order to make money, have access to certain experiences and opportunities in life. And I say that to say, women have one job in life, to remain attractive. If you fuck that up, that's on you. Don't get mad at me. These rules existed long before I came onto this earth. I'm just relaying the message. I'm the messenger. Listen, I'm not fat shaming them. I'm not saying that they're ugly. I'm not saying that nobody wants them. What I am saying is when you are fat, when you make the choice to overeat, when you make the choice not to go to the gym, you literally disqualify yourself from the same access and privileges that girls who do go to the gym, who do work out, who do go get BBLs, who do put effort and time into maintaining their body and their physique qualify for. That's why it's a struggle for girls who are fat, who are obese, who are overweight to lock down higher status men. Because men are visual creatures. If you leave a man to his own devices, especially if he has the option to pick and choose who he wants to deal with, he's going to choose a woman who's more fit, who has a slimmer waist. It's just the way the world works. Just like women who's extremely attractive with a nice body, leave her to her own devices, who's she going to pick? A man of higher socioeconomic status. Just like men date visually, women date for security. The problem is women want to escape accountability and put that blame on someone else. No, you made a choice to overeat. You made a choice not to go to the gym. You made a choice not to improve your physique. And now, even though you don't want to, you have to deal with the consequences that stem from those choices. And not being able to get to the club or get into the club for free is one of them. That's why I don't feel sorry for women like her who are complaining about shaming, all this other nonsense. Because in that same club she was complaining about not getting in, there were men who were shunned, who were rejected, who were ignored, who were virtually invisible because they couldn't afford bottles. Because women universally, especially the most attractive ones, want the dudes with the section. Let's be real here. How do you think those men feel? Or the men who gets ignored on Instagram every single day because they don't have followers, or they don't have a blue check, or they don't have a certain amount of money or a nice car. The exact same way, y'all big when y'all got ignored at that club. But the difference is, men are not on TikTok complaining about it. We simply accept what is. A fat chick that's out of shape, obese, is the equivalent to a broke man with no money. They're not preferred, they're virtually invisible, they'll be ignored, and they'll be rejected. And even that's not reality. Because a fat chick, an obese chick, even an ugly chick lives a better reality than a broke dude. Because guess what? Life isn't fair, and men accept that. And guess who benefits from most unfair treatment? Women do. They get in the club for free, they get access to certain privileges in certain social situations, they're able to monetize off their sexuality, get free dates, the possibilities are endless. Women benefit universally from sexism and unfairness. Women just complain when unfairness doesn't benefit them. The only privilege men get to enjoy that women don't is promiscuity. Do you see anybody standing up for men, fighting for men, having to pay to get in clubs when women getting for free? No one cares when men are treated unfairly, but it's a cry for help the moment women are.